Good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, PD, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's Good Morning Grenada for today, Wednesday, the 2nd day of July, 2025. The question is being asked, is my sin too much that you can't forgive? It's a big question. Do you know what the answer is? The answer is no. Just need to ask with a pure heart. Yeah, it's that simple. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all and sundry. Caracon, Pity Martinique, good morning, the Grenadines, the Southern Grenadines. Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is fine. And I will be giving you a brand new Facebook page that we'll be using so that you can spread the love again. Mildred Smith, good morning to you. She's always with us. Yeah. Reminding you that it's a good day to have a good day. In a good way. Morning, Miss Dawn Lett. How are you doing? You and the family, all you alright? Nice. Providence, good morning. Dudma, good morning. Of course, can't leave out Syracuse, right? Windsor Forest, Pedmota, Vincent's. The folks in Tokobe. Peppy, good morning to you and the family. Just got this message, man. Only last night I get to understand that in my home village, one of this, the youngsters that we sort of grew up together is older than I am. And the truth is, I don't know his right name, but we usually call him OT or Grazers. Understand that you transitioned, man. Good morning to the Mitchell family. Rachel and Tony and Snake and Pope and Galba. Ooh. And good morning to Doc and Candy all the way in Winnipeg. I can't call it Winterpeg now because it's burning hot now up there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All those of you out there in the diaspora, good morning to you. Reverend Samuel Caesar, good morning, good morning, good morning. And the folks in East Flatbush, I hope you all are doing fine. Sometimes all you need to do is just push. Yeah, when the going gets tough, the tough ought to get going. Yeah. Those of you at the various hospitals and medical facilities, you're not doing too well. Hold the faith and push.
Now when you've done everything you know,
the word of the day today,
still the problems keep coming.
That word is scintillating. Scintillating.
To choose God's plan.
Scintillating. S-C-I-N-T-I-L-L-A-T-I-N-G. Scintillating. S-C-I-N-T-I-L-L-A-T-I-N-G. And it means sparkling or shining brightly.
You know that's just what you got to do.
Yeah. Let your personality be a scintillating one. And push. Here's how we can use it in a sentence. For scintillating conversation kept everyone entertained. Yeah. Conversation was decorated with bright lights. Yeah. Good morning to my partner, Tall Man in River Road. I tell GT I know you before him. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. River Road, good morning. The folks at Thomas Block Plant, good morning. Partner from NIS yesterday. Good morning. Good morning, NIS. My brother Nigel and your wife and your energetic son, good morning. Sam, good morning. Auntie Elsa and Trevs, good morning. Uncle Glyden.
Trust him more and more.
Miss Quinn, good morning to you and the entire Cadet family.
That's why I
Let's see what my friend sent us this morning, to keep us motivated and stuff. It's Wednesday, and it says, Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for blessing us with another beautiful morning and waking us up to embrace your gift of life. We put everything in your hands today, our families, our health, our homes, our jobs, and our fears. May you continue to keep us protected under the shadow of your wings. In Jesus' name, amen. Tony Julian, good morning to you. Tone. It's always a pleasure seeing you, man. Tone is one kind of a guy. He's one humorous guy. Wednesday blessings. Welcome to a blessing-filled Wednesday. Enjoy God's favor today and each day that follows. God will hear your voice and He will comfort you with grace as you follow His steps. Pastor Dominic, good morning. Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family, good morning. The congregation at the Wester Hall New Testament Church of God. Wester Hall on the whole, good morning. There's something happening at the Wester Hall Secondary School. Yeah, medical team is there doing a sort of summer stuff. Bishop Bonaparte and his team, they're there. Nice. Good morning, Petlin and the folks inside of Munich and surrounding areas.
His mission is to leave you one.
Mama Can, good morning. Moyaki, hold string. Lady Cheryl, hold string, girl.
Eternal life is in store.
Yeah, good morning to all the Calypsonians, all the artists. Your season is upon you.
That you only fool in your
Yeah, good morning. Each and every one of you. Be at your A game, all right? Lovely. Of the motivational tip of the day. Push. Beaton and Laura Land, good morning. Stay curious about your potential. All right, Nadisha. Every day is a chance to discover new strengths. Ask yourself, what can I do today that I didn't think I could before? Today, ask yourself, what is it? What can I do that I never thought of doing before? Every day is a chance to discover new strengths. So ask yourself some pertinent questions. What can I stop do to be a better person? What can I do to be a better person? What can I say? Who can I talk to? You ought to be careful who you choose, though, because confidentiality is not a good thing these days. They say it's not a good thing. Not many people are confidential, man. You talk to someone in confidence saying that, I have this problem and I really don't know how to deal with it. And instead of helping you up, they help you down. That's the way the life is. Nothing strange. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So don't you ever feel that way. And amidst all that, you've just got to push. Just keep on pushing. Don't stop pushing. Yeah. Just push. And while you're pushing, don't forget, it would not be a good thing if you push and you don't give him some praise. You understand what I'm saying? Thank him. You got to thank him too. Thank the Lord. The folks at His Majesty's Prison, good morning. The Commissioner, good morning. You and your entire staff and all your residents there. Janice Charles, brother, good morning. I can't remember your name, man. Mr. Palmer, Gangster Cop, Davis, the young Lawrence guy. I really look forward to that prison reform thing that was, talked about. I made some noise about it, and then I heard, the PM made some comments as well. Too many youngsters up there, man. What's buzzing this morning? Let's see what's buzzing. Buzzing this morning, right. Explosion rocks telescope in St. Andrew, leaving a trail of destruction. Now, yesterday was a year of burial, and something happened again. What's going on with the 1st of July? Grenada declares National Days of Prayer on July 5th and 6th.
No one yet.
In the region, Trinidad Senate approves a PM pension reform.
Only Jesus alone can,
Internationally, Israel agrees to ceasefire conditions in Gaza.
alone can do it.
And in sports, well, you know, Australia and Windies, they're here and they're getting themselves ready for that second test. The clash is on. Australia will be looking to solidify their 159-run win in the first test in Barbados. And Windies will be looking for some measure of redemption.
You gotta thank the Lord
So everyone is going to converge at the National Cricket Stadium tomorrow.
for everything.
And of course, we'll be backing Windies.
Praise the Lord.
Full of energy.
We gotta praise the Lord.
Yeah.
When trouble comes your way and your clouds are dark and gray, there's only one thing that you need to.
Lovely, lovely. Yolan Swan, good morning to you. Hope you're doing fine. Hope all is well.
His name, he's always standing by, don't care.
Man, I miss you folks, you know. I miss the Facebook page, man. But it's, you know, we're getting back up there, man. We're getting up, you know what I'm saying? Erlin in the US, good morning. Yep.
Only Jesus alone can do it.
Nice.
It's only Jesus alone.
Only him. Only.
Jesus alone can do it.
Have you tested and tried that?
Only Jesus alone can do it.
Baby.
So
Sean Sower, Serpent Niles, good morning. What's up, Papi? Corinth, Redgate. St. Paul's. Good morning to Mommy. Can't remember the name, but Mr. Deacon Mitchell's grandmom. Good morning. She's always locked in. While at that, good morning to the whole of Maltese and Content and surrounding areas. Teacher Mary, the critical eye. Good morning.
not to thank the Lord. When we see,
Hope you're doing fine.
you just can't lose.
Monrepo, good morning, bro. Grand Dance, good morning. Miss Wally.
Nothing impossible
Mount Parnassus, good morning.
for him to do.
Rady, the coconut.
I know he can.
Tanti and Tempe. Folks, the AM edition of News Sports and the weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Whatever broken bones for sure.
Bang, well, you know, my name is Boogie B. And this is my partner here, Little John. Well, you know what's going on? GBN have a big thing coming up on the Canada. I want to beat Little John. And I'm going to beat Little John.
You can't beat no anything that is dollar and roti.
Yeah.
Yo,
You bring me down already.
yo, let me sing the tune.
No song. Tell him bring his song on the Carnage. I have a meeting.
Alright, but you don't know, GBN Spice of the Carnage live. Don't forget this year, 2025, Boogie B, Little John, yo,
Mad
Mass.
thing. I'm going to be there. He's going to be there.
Gonna be there.
You don't miss it.
The way them girl getting on ya, they making me hunger. I don't know how long. I got that with again. They shaking their bumper, they raising me temper. And right in the center, girl, I feeling a pain.
To shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein with GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Coming up in the news, explosion rocks telescope in St. Andrew, leaving a trail of destruction. Grenada declares National Days of Prayer on July 5th and 6th. In the region, Trinidad Senate approves a PM's pension reform. Internationally, Israel agrees to ceasefire conditions in Gaza. And in sports, Australia and West Indies set to clash in second test tomorrow. We've got the details to these and more after these messages.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gordon Josephine with the details to the news. Residents of Telescope in St. Andrew are waking up to a scene of devastation after a powerful explosion shook the area last evening, causing widespread damage to homes and vehicles. The blast sent shockwaves through the town of Grenville and surrounding communities, leaving many to pick up the pieces. Video recordings from the scene show the extent of the destruction, with debris scattered everywhere. The footage paints a grim picture of the aftermath of the explosion, with residents surveying the damage to their properties. Despite efforts to obtain information from officials, details about the incident remain scarce and the extent of the damage is still unknown. However, GBN will be returning to the area today to gather more information and provide updates in a later newscast. The Ministry of Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs has announced that Sunday, July 5th and Saturday, July 5th and Sunday, July 6th will be observed as National Days of Prayer in Grenada. The theme for the observance is "Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." A press conference is scheduled for today, Wednesday, to kick off the lead-up to the national event. The ministry is calling on all citizens, faith-based organizations, and communities to come together in prayer for the nation's spiritual and social well-being. By uniting in prayer, Grenadians can promote righteousness and positivity, ultimately benefiting the nation as a whole. The event aims to foster a sense of unity and collective well-being among the people of Grenada. The government of Grenada has received the premium support from the United Nations World Food Programme, the WFP, to bolster its disaster risk financing for the 2025-26 policy period. This marks the second consecutive year of support, totaling US $200,000 to enhance Grenada's tropical cyclone and excess rainfall policies. The support will enable timely social assistance in the aftermath of disasters such as Hurricane Beryl and strengthen national social protection systems. Permanent Secretary Mike Sylvester reaffirmed the government's commitment to leveraging risk financing instruments to safeguard vulnerable populations. The WFP CRIF SPC top-up model requires a portion of insurance payouts to be directed toward cash-based support through national social protection programs. Grenada has renewed its CRIF SPC coverage, understanding or underscoring its proactive stance on disaster preparedness and financial risk mitigation, and is looking to deepen collaboration with the World Food Programme on future initiatives. Flow Grenada has announced the complete restoration of mobile internet and cable services to Carriacou and Petite Martinique just 1 year after Hurricane Beryl's devastating impact. The achievement marks a significant turning point in the island's recovery, with 98% internet connectivity restored in Carriacou and 60% in Petite Martinique. And finally, the Grenada Game Fishing Association has announced a historic achievement during the 2025 Spicy Tuna Tournament hosted by Bragging Rights of Trinidad and Tobago. Josh Maharaj, a 21-year-old angler from Trinidad, caught a massive blue marlin weighing 919 pounds, measuring 13 feet 8 inches in length. This surpasses the previous record of 669 pounds set in the Spice Isle Billfish Tournament. The enormous fish was towed to the Grenada Yacht Club, where the tournament was held, as it couldn't fit on the 44-foot charter boat. The tournament, now in its 6th year, brought together top anglers from the region, with Team Afunde from Trinidad winning the best boat and heaviest tuna prize categories. The event showcased exceptional sportsmanship and regional unity, with the Grenada Game Fishing Association praising all participants and bragging rights for hosting a world-class tournament. That concludes the first segment of news, the local segment. Stay with us, the regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather. They're straight ahead. In the region, the Trinidadian Senate has approved legislation setting a minimum 1-year term for prime ministers to qualify for a state pension. The bill, which has a retroactive effect from March 10th, introduces a tiered payment structure based on time served. Now, this means that former prime ministers will receive a fraction of the pension based on their length of service. The legislation aims to prevent former Prime Minister Stuart Young from receiving a full pension after serving for just over a month. The bill passed with a 3/5 majority, with 20 senators voting in favor and 10 abstaining. Suriname has become the first Amazon region country to be certified malaria-free by the World Health Organization. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus praised the achievement as a milestone for health equity and global malaria elimination. Suriname's success is attributed to decades of targeted strategies, including indoor spraying and training of local health workers. The country recorded over 15,000 cases in 2001, but stopped local transmission by 2021. Suriname is now one of 46 certified countries that are malaria-free worldwide. Looking further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. The proposed ceasefire aims to end the war, with Trump stating that all parties will work together to achieve this goal. The Qataris and Egyptians have worked on the final proposal, which will be delivered to Hamas. Now, Trump warned that if Hamas does not accept the deal, the situation will only worsen. The conflict began after a Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023, resulting in over 1,200 deaths in Israel and at least 56,647 deaths in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The ceasefire agreement is a significant step towards ending the violence in the region. Still with President Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump visited the new Alligator Alcatraz Detention Center in Florida, which will hold around 3,000 migrants. Trump stated that the facility will house some of the most vicious people on the planet. The center's location in the Florida Everglades is intended to deter escape attempts with alligators, crocodiles, and pythons in the surrounding wetlands. However, the construction of the center is opposed by state lawmakers, the local mayor, environmental groups, and neighbors who argue that it could harm the ecosystem. They are concerned about the potential impact on the environment. Trump's visit is part of his crackdown on illegal immigration. Tensions are rising between U.S. President Donald Trump and Elon Musk over government spending. Trump suggested that Musk companies should be investigated for subsidies, prompting Musk to respond with, "Cut it all now." The two are at odds over Trump's proposed bill, which increases defense and security spending, but cuts healthcare and food support. Musk, who once led a government cost-cutting agency, opposes the bill, calling it fiscally irresponsible. Trump accuses Musk of opposing the bill due to removed electric vehicle subsidies, but Musk insists his stance is driven by ideology, not profit. The bill could add $3.3 trillion to the national debt if passed. Meanwhile, U.S. President again Donald Trump threatened to deport Elon Musk after the billionaire criticized his spending bill. Trump suggested the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, may investigate Musk's government subsidies. "We might have to put DOGE on Elon," Trump said. He believes Musk is attacking his bill because it dropped measures supporting electric vehicles. Trump told reporters, "I don't know. We'll have to take a look." When asked if he would consider deporting the South African-born businessman, sparking a potential clash between the two high-profile figures. And finally, the jury in Sean Diddy Combs' trial has reached a partial verdict, but remains deadlocked on the most serious charge of racketeering, which carries a possible life prison term. The 12 jurors agreed on 4 of the 5 counts, but were unable to decide on the racketeering charge. Deliberations will resume this morning. Now, Diddy, who is 55, has pleaded not guilty to all 5 charges, including sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. The rapper remained calm in court, with his lawyers offering support as the jury's decision was announced. The trial will continue until a verdict is reached. That's the regional and international news, the sporting highlights and the weather there straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. The countdown is on for Grenada's hosting of the second test in Australia's tour of the Caribbean, with the match set to begin this Thursday and run until the 7th. Australia is looking to build on their 159-run win in the first test in Barbados. Deputy Chair of the local organizing committee, Curlin Peters, has expressed satisfaction with the progress made in getting the stadium game ready. Meanwhile, Steve Smith is on track to make a return for Australia after participating in his first full training session since suffering an injury. However, he will have to wear a splint for another 6 weeks and will not be able to field in the slips. In other news, Grenada is fine-tuning plans for its participation in this year's NASAC Age Group Championships, a prestigious international competition for young athletes. Assistant Coordinator of Sports Damian Castle has been working on the plans for that event. And finally, Kenisha Pascal and Livron Thorne will represent Grenada in the CARICOM 10K in Jamaica, which will take place on Saturday. The winners will receive cash prizes, and athletes will also compete for the CARICOM Chairman's Trophy and the CARICOM Secretary General's Trophy. Interesting. That's all the sports at this time. Reminding you, we'll have more sports in our luncheon edition and, of course, in our primetime newscast. Folks, stay with us. The weather forecast is up next.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Latest weather forecast. We join forecaster Fimba Frank at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good morning, Fimba.
Hey, good morning. It's a fair morning down here, and it's the same picture throughout the whole state. Winds are blowing from east at 40 miles per hour. Pressure above the mean and rising at 1015.9 millibars. Present temperature 28. Orange 74%. Maximum temperature here within the last day got up to 30.4. Minimum temperature last night 26.5. Please note at all times all temperatures are in degrees Celsius. In terms of rain here within the last day, there was no rain, and it's just the second morning for the month, so there was no rain for the month so far. Once more, this is only for the airport. Now let's take a look at the forecast followed for the day and the nighttime. The weather expected to be mostly fair, hazy and windy, with brief showers during the morning time and then again during the night. Maximum temperature for the day should get up to near 31 degrees. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Waves should get up to near 6 feet, hence seas will be moderate. Tides are rising, should be high near 8 o'clock, and then low this afternoon just about 2 o'clock. Sunset 6:36. Sunrise on Thursday 5:46. Just to recap the forecast followed for the day and the nighttime. The weather expected to be mostly fair and hazy with brief morning and nighttime showers. That's it from the Met Office. I'm from my Frank.
Thank you very much, Fimba. Have yourself a wonderful day now.
All right, same to you. Bye-bye.
Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited. It's 5 minutes after 7 o'clock. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Locally, explosion rocks telescope in St. Andrew, leaving a trail of destruction. Grenada declares National Days of Prayer on July 5th and 6th. In the region, Trinidad Senate approves the Prime Minister's pension reform plan. Internationally, Israel agrees to ceasefire conditions in the Gaza. And in sports, Australia and West Indies set to clash in the second test right here at the National Cricket Stadium. We urge you to go out and support Team Windies. Now that has been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere, and also reminding you to stay with us because the traffic report comes up in a short.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Fly the Jones swoosh, it's Lava Man, and you already know the energy. It's all about GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition. This year is going to be greater, bolder, more exciting than ever. And it's all about the quarterfinals on the 25th of July. The 31st of July will be the semi-finals, and the August 8th finals. Artists, if you think you have what it takes to own the stage, now is your chance. Get there, be there, see you there. Lava Man, the real mad one. Fly the Jones swoosh. GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools and appliances for all residential, commercial and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Well, folks, it's now 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. We now join Corporal Troy Paul of the Traffic Department of the RGPF. And good morning, Corporal Paul.
Good morning to you and good morning to all of your listeners. It is a beautiful day today and therefore we will rejoice and be glad in it. But I want to bring traffic update for this morning. It is relatively quiet in most of our streets, our towns and all its adjoining roads, and therefore we have no obstructions, no accidents reported this morning. So persons traversing on our nation's road at the moment have a free flow of traffic to get to their destination safely and on time. But we want to ensure you that if you want to get there on time and if you have not left home as yet, you must do so now, depending on the time of travel and the distance of your journey. However, we know that the places that are expected to have that traffic build-up as we get closer to the 8 o'clock hour, the Calvini Public Road, the Toby Road, expect some delays, and along the Grand Anse Public Road as we get closer to that 8 o'clock hour. However, expect that you will have officers in strategic positions who will assist to regulate the free flow of traffic. Also, there's things happening in our country. We have cricket, lovely cricket starting tomorrow, Thursday, the 3rd of July, and persons are expected to have some traffic delays and traffic diversion. We also have a traffic plan which I want to share with the general public, and the general public is hereby notified that the following arrangement will be in effect for the international test match at the National Stadium, Australia versus West Indies. So all vehicular traffic entering the National Stadium will use the Queen's Park Ring Road from its intersection with Cherry Hill. Most of our traffic will be allowed to enter the National Stadium, would not be allowed to enter the National Stadium from the Green Bridge entrance. So vehicular traffic, the vehicles that will be allowed to enter the Humbug Bridge will be restricted to the following to allow VIP, dignitaries, and persons with special permits from the National Celebration Committee. No entry. Vehicular traffic will not be allowed in the following areas: Old Fort from its intersection with Lucas Street, Cemetery Hill from its junction with Church Street, Humbug Bridge from the intersection of the River Road, the Ring Road from the intersection of the Mount Rush Public Road to the direction of the Humbug Bridge, Mount Rush Public Road from the top of the direction of the stadium. So these are the areas that are deemed no entry. Public parking will be available in the following areas: the concrete area, the Kieran James Athletic Stadium, the Wesley College playing field. Gate 6 will facilitate parking for persons with special access passes only. Parking to the front of the National Stadium adjacent to the River Road will be restricted to allow for VIPs, dignitaries only, and persons with special permits from the National Celebration Committee. No parking. No parking will be allowed in the following areas on either side of the road: Melville Street from the Fish Market right up to Cherry Hill, Queen's Park Road from its junction with the Green Bridge to the National Stadium, River Road from Purcell's Lumber Yard to Lacqua Roundabout, which we call Kibbles, Mount Rush Public Road from its junction with the Ring Road, the National Stadium entrance Public Way from the Green Bridge, and the Stadium Ring Road. One-way traffic, the River Road Public Road will be made one-way towards the direction of Mungay at the conclusion of the games. It has become necessary to make that road one-way. On our emergency route, which we cannot leave out, is up Cemetery Hill, down Church Street, and onto the General Hospital. Persons will only be allowed to vend on the seaside of the main public way along the western corridor, and no vending will be allowed along the Queen's Park Public Road from the Green Bridge to the main entrance of the National Stadium or any other area in the vicinity of the National Stadium, which includes the Stadium Ring Road. And I just want persons to be mindful that the game starts today and end on the 7th of July. So please be mindful.
Correction copy. The game starts on the 3rd. That is tomorrow.
Yes, sorry. That is tomorrow, the 3rd of July, and ends on the 7th of July.
So that's it for the traffic report this morning?
And we also have a total of 6 minor accidents reported for the past 24 hours. We see a decline of 3. We just want to encourage persons to drive safely and drive to arrive on time. And the question we'll ask every morning, if you're texting,
who's driving?
Who's driving?
Have a good one, Corporal, and by extension, the entire RGPF. Have a good day.
Thank you, and also to the entire team at GBN.
Thank you. Folks, that was the traffic report for this morning. We take a break. When we come back, Ariza's Money Wise is up next.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits. Terms and conditions apply. Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation, Enhancing Africa-Caribbean Economic Cooperation in an Era of Global Uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
Attention all divers, snorkelers, and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinaire Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
I'm ready to defend my crown. Iguana will be performing live, defending Carnage Soca Monarch. All you think a little curry meet me on the stage. July 25th, 31st, and August 8th, meet me on the stage.
We wild, we in style. When you see
a branch by myself. No company, no friends. Oh my gosh, I stumble when I meet till I tumble. Woman come in a bungle, wanna come from me jungle. Oh my gosh, I stumble when I meet till I tumble. Woman come in a bungle, wanna come from me jungle.
Welcome to MoneyWise, your guide to wise financial decisions, made possible by Ariza Credit Union.
All right, folks, it's 21 minutes gone past 7 o'clock. It's Money Wise with Ariza this morning, and I'm joined by my good friend. Yeah, my real good friend, Miss Marquez. She's one of the financial technicians, as Hoshel would say, Mr. Whiteman would say, at Ariza Credit Union. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Innocent, and good morning to all your viewers and listeners. Happy July. Start off kind of funny, but happy July.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the 1st of July doesn't seem to be a good date for Grenada.
Boy, Beryl was last year and this year something else.
Yeah.
But we are a resilient people.
Of course.
So we're going to get through it.
AGM was Monday. Yes. Doctor's orders, I couldn't come. How was it?
Well, it was charged. It was fantastic. It was a nice environment, and I think the staff and the members appreciated, and management and board appreciated the camaraderie and the discussions.
Nice.
So it was a good AGM, I think.
Okay, getting the what you call the quorum and everything, that wasn't a problem.
Oh no. Right. Yeah, we had quite a number of people online as well as in person. So
and that speaks well. It shows that people are minding their business.
That is very true. Okay. Well, I mean, we're in a different environment now. We're talking about savings and investment, and I think the whole region in Grenada and the whole region is just pumped about, minding our business.
Yeah, and there are some conversations that are taking place now. As a matter of fact, later on in the program, I should be talking with some representative from one of the government ministries with the ties that we're trying to get with Africa now.
Okay.
A lot of investment opportunities, a whole lot of. So I think it's a good thing what I'm seeing down in a crystal ball there. And look, maybe I don't know if it will come to fruition in my time, but
yeah, man, you're a lot of years still. Don't worry.
So tell us, give us a detail as much as you can, as brief as you can, on the real outcome, the financing and so forth of the AGM.
Okay, so on Monday at the AGM, the board reported that we had operational surplus of about 12.2 million. So it was a good year. 2024 was a good year. We also passed the resolution, the membership passed the resolution that we were paying to our members 5% dividends and a 3% interest rebate.
Okay.
To break it down for everybody.
Okay, don't just say break it down. Say it in English now.
Okay, in English.
Say it in English now.
Okay, so taking it apart. Dividends. We know what dividends is, right? Dividends basically is the company's way of sharing whatever profits are made during a particular financial year with the shareholders of the credit union.
Okay.
In our case, if you look at your account on your AME app or online, you would notice that there's qualifying shares and there's equity shares. Dividends is paid on the combination of those two.
Okay.
The qualifying shares is what every member of the credit union pays on entry. So it qualifies you for becoming a member of the credit union or to become a member of the credit union. That $500 that we scream and shout about sometimes is actually an investment. So if you say you don't have an investment portfolio, that's not true.
Yeah.
Becoming a member of a credit union or becoming a member of Ariza is your first investment. You have bought yourself with that $500 25 shares in Ariza Credit Union. That's your qualifying shares. Okay. So, and you earn on it because that 5% dividends, which we've paid for, I would say probably over 5 years, we've been paying 5% dividends on shares at the annual AGM. It's usually declared there. is a 5% interest on that $500.
Okay.
So the $500 ain't just sitting down there doing nothing. It's earning money. So, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. So
I'm glad that you raised that. Can someone... Okay, there's a minimum that you're supposed to purchase to become a member in terms of qualifying shares. Can you up that game? Can you up that number and say, well, I want to have 1,000 shares?
Right. So that's where the other side of it comes in.
Nice.
The other side of it is your equity shares. So when you go on there, you'll see qualifying shares, $500. That doesn't change. For everybody, it's the same. Your equity shares is where you would see the additional shares that you purchase. So if, for instance, sometimes it's a requirement, because if you're going to get a certain magnitude of loan, you might need extra shares to, add some collateral into the mix. But if you just want to do an investment, say you have an extra $30,000 or $10,000 and you want to buy a few more shares, it's a good thing to invest in a credit union. It's a good thing to invest in a RISA because we actually pay the 5% over the last so much years, right? Of course, the dividends that's paid is dependent on your profitability. So a hearty thank you to all our membership, because without your loyalty and your input and your support in terms of taking up our products, actually coming in and saving with us, that surplus would not have been possible. Yes, we make investments inside and we manage the ship, but without your input, the actual profitability of the institution would not have been possible. So again, hearty thank you to all our membership, which is why the AGM was good for me, because members got involved, there was discussion, and it was a charged, nice environment.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I missed it, but
don't worry, there's always next year.
Next year, Randy Isaac did that in song. There's always next year.
There's always next year.
Let me ask this: the profit, how much million dollars? $12.2 million. Is it up from the previous fiscal year?
It's slightly lower, but you have to remember, well, it was a different year. 2023 was exceptional. 2022 was also great. However, we had the cyber incident in March, then we had Beryl. So a couple of things would have happened that would have taken away from some of the profits that we could have had, because expenditure would have had to be made to support, to repair the office, to support our members, and also to make sure that our cyber infrastructure was firmly in place.
Well, please, invest as much as you need to on this.
Yes, we went all out to ensure that that's secure, and we've been stepping up on even the cyber training, etc., to make sure that our system is airtight. Luckily for us, we were not impacted in any dramatic way. There wasn't any loss or anything like that. It was just a matter of they tried to attack. Our system was strong enough to withstand it, but it made us take a second look at gaps and so to make sure that they're filled and nothing could penetrate. So
that's good.
It is.
Yeah, that's good. It's really a proud moment. At this moment, I feel proud to be a member of ARISA.
Wow!
Really, and I'm certain that these are the similar sentiments are being shared by other members out there, because you could actually see what is being done. Where you don't have branches, you have ATMs. That's investment as well. So you actually, as the Bajans would say, you're meeting the members' peace way.
Well, our mission to make members' lives better. At the AGM, actually, or the vice president at the time would have said that you have to remember in everything that happens, ARISA cares. So everything that we do would be to safeguard and take care of our membership. The interest rebate, for instance, most financial institutions would probably not pay an interest rebate. As a matter of fact, if you look at the credit union sector, ARISA is the only credit union that would have paid an interest rebate over the last 3 years.
And by that,
I mean,
again, say it in English again.
In English.
Yeah, say it in English now.
So interest rebate is basically, for want of a better word, a give back. It's you pay interest on your loans, and at the end of the year, you get back some of that interest that you would have paid. Nobody doesn't give back interest.
No, but that's supposed to be a profit, then. This
is a credit union, and we are all members, so we must all share. And as such, once the institution remains profitable, this is one of the givebacks to our membership. So you've paid all this interest in the year on your loans. This is a little something back from it based on our profitability.
Wow.
So that's what we do.
That's I mean, the real credit unionism spirit is shown here. You know, it's about people helping people.
You said it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Now, from the AGM, what are some of the projections for the new fiscal year?
Okay, so we do have by the way, the booklet, the annual booklet, we've actually went a step ahead and tried to do that digital transformation thing. So we actually have the booklet digitized on our website. There's some nice little videos and stuff there. So you might want to take a look, Innocent. You might see something.
Yeah, well, of course. I am not Stevie Wonder. Once I look, I will see.
So for the upcoming, there's actually the budget in the AGM booklet. I was trying to get the information so I could tell you. But the projections are, of course, increasing based on also what's happening with the economy, because we usually try to grow our income with the growth in the economy. So we do have projections up until, I think it's 2 years, so up to 2027. I'm trying to get the exact figures to tell you, since you threw me under the bus there.
Oh, no. I mean, you could have just said it off your head. I mean, we didn't have to get to the point, detailed decimal point stuff. But, you know, I presume, in essence, what I really wanted to get out is that there are plans on stream that will even propel the credit union further in expansion and everything.
Definitely. Yeah. One thing at Ariza, we are always trying to better where we are right now. Okay. So there are plans in place. Of course, the new board, once it's constituted, will take up the mantle from the old board. New members have been added to the board of directors and to the supervisory committee. So we have a new AMBI. They, of course, have to decide who's the president and make the elections among themselves in order for us to start running. But that being said, we do have a strategic plan which would outline where we are going. Okay. So it's a structured approach.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, one of the things that is evident is, you know, you're being here this morning, and Ariza keeps being in the media, you know, sensitizing the general public as to why it's important to join the credit union. You know, it's mind-boggling, you know, the amount of emphasis that is placed on sensitizing the nation, you know, because I am of the opinion that sooner than later, Mr. Timothy Antoine and them in the ECCB would start to open up some gates so that, you know, the clearinghouse effect would kick in for the credit union, and that the credit union members can start writing their own checks, and then the so-called commercial banks would start becoming obsolete, because in true sense they're helping as the credit unions, you know. I mean, oh my God.
I wonder if you could say that.
I wonder if I could walk through town.
I don't think so. I think it's a whole lot one.
All right.
Yes, we work together. Yes.
Collaboratively. Yes. But it's important, and the fact that the credit union is a cooperative, the cooperative agenda has to be pushed more. Yeah. That as the bottom line, you know. Yeah. The different ones, the financial and the non-financial, but even the non-financial, you know, they collaborate. Yeah.
And then to be quite honest, I mean, this is an opportunity. You know, it is much more difficult to get ownership in a financial, whether bank or non-bank, I should say a banking institution than a non-bank.
Yeah.
It's local, and you know, if people, we're afraid of this investment thing. It's a big thing. We don't have to panic.
Yeah.
We already investors. Most of us, when you look at the figures, 90,000 members. The sector has 90,000 members.
Wow.
Every credit union that you join, you are a shareholder.
You're part owner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
hence the reason why I always talk about the level of customer service that you get at Ariza, even from the security personnel that, you know, welcomes you to the bank, and that customer service orientation, it's so right there in comparison to other places where when you go into some of them institutions, you're looked at as a bother. Why are you bothering me for?
We try.
You know, so
we do try.
Kudos, man. Kudos.
We do try.
Kudos to the board, the management team, the advisory team, all the staff
work very hard.
Good
so
morning.
we have to big them up. Thank you. Yes, that's it. I just wanted to tell. I mean, we here. I just wanted to tell our membership thank you for the support, for the loyalty, for the continued assistance, for bearing with us even when things are tough. Because I know during last year when we had the cyber incident, we had a bit of delay and a little bit of waiting, but we just wanted to make sure that everybody was safe.
Okay.
So the onus is on us to do that, and thankfully, with God's help, we got through it. Yeah,
and we're gonna get through many more.
Oh yeah.
Bring them on. We can deal with them.
I mean, God in charge.
Of course. Thank you, Miss Marquez.
Thank you very much.
And bring back the love to Arise.
I will do that. All right. Yeah.
Folks, that's it for the Money Wise program this morning. Speaking with Marquez at one of the financial technicians. I like to call it that.
I find you like the word.
Yeah, boy. I mean, I'm not somebody that's short of words, but when I heard Mr. Whiteman use that word, I said, I never looked at it that way. Yeah, you all are actually technicians. You all fix financial problems.
We try our best.
Yes, good. Folks, we'll be back with more of the conversation after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Today's edition of Money Wise was made possible by Ariza Credit Union. Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Time to get charged up for the Fuller Energy Home Series as West Indies takes on Australia in a fiery test match from July 3rd to 7th at the National Cricket Stadium from 10 a.m. each day. Free entry plus fun activities for children under 16 years old. Adult tickets start at just $5 per match day. Let's rally with the men in maroon. Go to windiscricket.com to secure your tickets now. West Indies is back in the spice aisle and we Fuller Energy.
West Indies going higher, Fuller Energy.
Fly the Jones swoosh, it's Lava Man, and you already know the energy. It's all about GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition. This year is going to be greater, bolder, more exciting than ever. And it's all about the quarterfinals on the 25th of July. The 31st of July will be the semi-finals and the August 8th finals. Artists, if you think you have what it takes to own the stage, now is your chance. Get there, be there, see you there. Lava Man, the real mad one. Fly the Jones swoosh. GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition.
Refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look? The Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Hey everyone! Here is an invitation to join me this and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on GBN Television 711 K105 FM, our Facebook page and YouTube channel for Kaiso Talk. Meet the Kaisonians, hear their stories, feel the vibes. Kaiso Talk, Wednesdays 8:30 p.m. Compliments the Grenville Credit Union.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The investment migration agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Community, assembling global Africa. The 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum, Active 2025, is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation, enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. I'm joined by a very high-profile team this morning. All right, in the second stint of the conversation, I'm joined by Miss Patricia Clark. She is a PS in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a whole lot of other dots behind it. And to her immediate right is a very powerful man. When we touched each other's hands, I said, but that name is a heavy name. Mr. Richard Nixon, a former president of the United States. But he's not here in any presidential capacity. He's here in an advisory and ambassadorial position. He's an ambassador and advisor in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a whole lot of things. They would get into that. I don't know all the things that they do. All right? But what I do know is that we had a very good conversation prior to coming on the set, and there are a number of commonalities, and so I enjoy this. Good morning, lady.
Good morning, and thank you for having us. Patricia Clark, Permanent Secretary responsible for Trade and Export Development in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development. And on behalf of Minister Andel and, of course, my colleague in the ministry, P.S. Roxy Hutchinson, very pleased to be here this morning to share and talk a little bit about Active.
Okay, and Mr. Nixon.
Well, good morning to you and to all your listeners, wherever they may be. It's a pleasure to be here this morning and share about the Active Conference that's coming to Grenada. We think it can be a game changer and maybe trendsetters for the future. So we'd like to share a little bit with your audience what this is all about and what it means for Grenada.
Well, I'm so happy to have you both, because that conversation is really in the air now, not just from a Grenada's perspective, but from a regional perspective.
That's right.
Every time we hear Afri now, we know it's something, as Donald Trump would say, it's bigly being listened to, very bigly, very bigly. A lot of focus is being placed now on, going back to Africa, and to me that's awesome. A number of initiatives come out of it. We just had the Afri-Exim Bank 32nd
in Abuja.
In Abuja,
the general
meeting,
and Prime Minister attended.
Yeah, a lot of conferences, a lot of communication, a lot of dialogue. I would love to see some direct flights from Abuja and so forth. And
we like where you're going with that.
You like where I'm going? Yeah, that's a good place to go. But most importantly, we have a conference that's coming up. What's it called? AfriCit or something?
Afri-Exim. Active, which is
Active.
African Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum.
Right, and that's coming to Grenada. And from my research, I realized that we could get as many as 1,000 people coming in for that. But not just the numbers that come to the conference, but the spillover benefits.
That's right.
That's what. So how does Grenada and by extension the region benefit from this?
Well, let me thank you for the question. I think one of the things we want to talk about in terms of the visioning for Grenada, in terms of Prime Minister's engagement with the bank and the hosting of the meeting here. The conference has been held previously in Barbados, Bahamas, and Guyana. So we're pleased to host it here. One of the things that we've spoken very much about is the idea of the global space between the African diaspora and the Caribbean, and bridging that gap, not just in trade, but in culture, finance, opportunities for engagement across all those various sectors. This conference, we already had about close to 700 persons
already registered.
Yes. And we anticipate that following the engagement, high-level engagement in Abuja, that we expect even more. We're going to share a little bit about some of the things that we're hoping to really expand the space for, in terms of connection, in terms of private sector, culture, our key sectors of the economy that we want to really build on, and opportunities for seeing how the bank and our local fiscal sector really come together on projects. Ambassador Nixon has been a key partner in leading that particular component of the conference in partnership with the ministry and a stakeholder team that is working across various ministries. You started by mentioning the issue of the air transport, and that's the thing. The initial middle passage between Africa and the Caribbean is one that has a very different historical feel in terms of the absolute enormity of the historical tragedy that was. And what this conference does is recognize recognize what that was, but also look to see how we can build a new connection between the diaspora, the continent, and here. So we look forward to discussing the different components of the conference. It is a very extensive program.
Very much. Yes.
A lot of opportunity for private sector engagement. The ministry has done extensive outreach through our database, and I know that the GIDC, of which Ambassador Nixon is chairman, and the Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, with Ms. Pettifer Lewis, Executive Director, have been working closely with the stakeholder team for government to ensure we do private sector outreach. But it's not just a conference for business. There are lots of other areas that we hope to touch on as well. Ambassador Nixon?
Let me ask that before I'm excited now. I am getting excited. I know my audience is getting excited as well. From exposure to the African continent now, a lot of focus is being placed there. What can we benefit from Africa now? Because in some quarters we get the impression that some of the news clips that we see and so forth from up north,
the narrative
is that Africa is a place with hunger and starvation and deserts and so forth. But for some reason, the real core of African values seem to be overlooked. What does Africa have to offer?
Well, I think it's something that will be mutually beneficial for both sides, because fair trade and fair business means it's fair for both sides. So they have a lot to offer because Africa is now very wealthy based on all the minerals they've had. They've figured out how to pull themselves together. But most importantly, they see the Caribbean as part of their diaspora. So they see us as part of Africa, and that's why you see this strong outreach to the Caribbean. We're responding to them very positively because based on what's going on with globalization and global politics and geopolitics, we have to look for new trading partners, new trading routes, expand our database to diversify who we do business and trade with. And Africa plays a very, very important role. The trade between Africa and Caribbean now is less than 1%. We're hoping that this can grow by 2028 to maybe about $1.8 to $2 billion in trade.
In the region?
Yes.
The region.
Yes.
Common Africa.
Yes. So we think that there is a lot of potential for growth. And the barriers to entry in doing business based on going up north, it's a lot lower because the kinship and the relationships are there. So the Afrexim Bank, it's actually a trading bank. It's not a commercial bank. It's a trading bank. So they facilitate trade. And it's not only trading goods, it's trading services. So, for example, engineers, medical assistants, architects, they can benefit for projects that we may develop that have that component of trade in it. So it's not only buying goods, it's also services. And with the services, bring the transfer in technology and building a human capital in Grenada. So we see this as humongous for us. Yes.
Okay, so I'm seeing that Africa has a lot to offer in terms of trade, like things from Africa could get here. But as a people here, we would start having to do some preparation as well and upping our game because we want the trade to be symbiotic,
yes,
right? Where both parties benefit. So if Africa we expect a lot of investments and so forth to come, we would love to see that. But we're supposed to be able to get some people across there and benefit from the infrastructure and the technologies and so forth. So is that possible?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we're looking at is understanding how we can use this conference as a map to build bridges, which is why Ambassador Nixon touched on an array of different sectors. It's not just about trade, it's about culture, it's about education. We're expecting lots of academics, African universities, persons who will be here, and our persons from the region, University of West Indies, the ECCB, and other focal points. There are real challenges, as there are with anything that exists even for our partners in North America, logistics being one, which is deeply being looked into, and then also to the issue of understanding our tariffs. Yeah, there's an African Business Council which has been set up, and I think it's important to understand that the conference is not a one-off. There is the African Exim Bank that will be established in Barbados as an outreach office, which is right there. So the conferences really build on a thematic engagement that the bank has with the region, and the government of Grenada is one of the governments that have signed partnership agreements with the bank that allow us to leverage the unique opportunities, not just of the fiscal, but of the resource-rich areas. What we're hoping is that people are able to come to the various components, and Ambassador Nixon can share some of the things we're doing with the region as well as locally, and be able to create connections, not just business to business, but we have a range of other areas we're talking about in terms of the series of the different sections of the program, and we're hoping that that can really lead to jumping off a conversation. There are also things which are not at liberty to do now, but of course our principals will announce in terms of strategic MOUs that we'll be signing that allow for the platform to be established for launching those kinds of projects and connections.
Yeah. No, PS is correct. We see that this can be a renaissance of a relationship between the Caribbean, in particularly Grenada and the continent. There's some areas that they keenly focus on: tourism and hospitality, renewable energy, banking and financial services, transport and logistics, creative industries and sports, infrastructure development. And as I said before, it's not just a commercial bank, it's a trading bank. And when you do trade, that means both sides benefit. So this is very, very good for us. You know, in the last 3 conferences they had, Grenada is the smallest because of our size and the hotel room stock capacity. Last year in the Bahamas, there were almost 4,000 people when we were there. We would love to have that here, but not yet.
It's sad, you know. I mean, for so many years that we switched from agriculture being the backbone, and so much emphasis was placed on tourism, and now to have a problem with 4,000 visitors coming in and we out of hotel rooms, that's we really have to look into this, because if we're going to do the work, all right, if you're going to bring the water here, you might as well have a big enough dam.
Well, I think we start from where we are. There's an understanding that Grenada has something unique to our own geographical, and the biggest charm of Grenada, of course, being the resources and the wealth of our people, that we have to offer, that we think tells a unique story in the Caribbean, which is why you heard the other countries the bank was in, and it's not a coincidence that Grenada is next. So we acknowledge that the size is an issue, and I think also to the branding of tourism we're looking for is one that is curated. We will be working very closely with the GTA as a key partner, and excited to do tours and so to have people visit. And the hotel, we expect there to be investors who are interested in hotels and seeing how they can really enhance and upscale that space, and understanding how we can have the opportunities for creating those kinds of conversations. I think it's important to highlight the theme of the conference as well. We've just come out of Beryl, and I think sometimes people think that these conferences are for others, but it's a conference for everyone who's interested in these kinds of topics. And it's resilience and transformation, enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. And I think that really captures where we are as a world. It doesn't matter if we're in North America, Africa, or the Caribbean. These are the things that we're dealing with. How do you look at resources, which more and more for all of us measured, and ascertain how do I prioritize key areas and sectors. What we hope that will come out of this conference will be an opportunity for really rationalizing a private sector, public sector, the arts, civil society for a conversation, and the agreements that we're hoping to sign will then build a platform for continuity of engagement. The bank now having a branch right in Barbados allows us to continue and also build relationships between the bank and some of our local targeted fiscal institutions. So lots to come. So it's a lot on the plate, but I always say one of the things that we try to do as government is start where we are. You can't be intimidated by the whole piece, otherwise you would never start anywhere.
My grandmother always said the eyes make work hard. When you look at it, it looks hard, but when you actually get into doing it, you realize it's doable. A quick question though, with the current administration in the US, all right, some folks say it's crazy, I say it's worse than crazy, but the perceived alignment going back to the mother continent, how would that interfere with relations with the administration up north?
It's not mutually exclusive. We're in a global space where countries have the right and ability to align relationships across the board. Africa is a major continent that has resources, talents, persons, and abilities, which the U.S. on a trading basis engages in every year to great benefit mutually in many instances. Yeah. So I think what we're seeing now is a Caribbean rising and understanding that apart from the region, apart from North America, a traditional and valued partner, there are other areas in the world where we have a natural synergy, ethnically, culturally, and people to people, that we need to also strengthen those things. And, broadly, of course, our Prime Minister and Minister of Trade and other principals have had very strong and positive and continue to have constructive and cordial diplomatic relations with the U.S. and other partners. But similarly, we have a responsibility to broaden our engagement. The recent discussions on tariffs in the U.S., and we saw it's not just the Caribbean, how it affected Canada and other places, gives us a responsibility to diversify our outreach. Of course. So that's how I would answer that one.
I keep pushing that agenda that we really need to get self-sufficient here with food, because so many things are happening. The tariffs, so there are some things that we won't be able to purchase after a while. And in addition to that, this war in the Middle East, our shipping routes and so forth might start having problems. So don't put all the cocoa in one basket.
Right. Again, the wisdom of our elders always is relevant and timely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the start of a conversation that we're having. So we have to wrap now, but before we wrap, the conference is on the 27th and 28th, I think?
It's the 28th to the 29th.
Right. Okay.
And we have an exhibition that that runs concurrently, and the exhibition goes through the 31st. So let me just outline what happens on the exhibition side, because this is for Grenadians to engage, or participants to engage the delegates coming in ways of doing trade with each other. So the 20th and 29th would be part of the official conference, where the exhibitors would be exposed to all the delegates. There's a charter flight coming in directly from Lagos to Grenada that's bringing maybe about 280 to 300 people for this conference, and that flight leaves on the evening of the 30th. So we'll have the 30th to really talk and do trade and business with each other. And the bank's perspective is that this is for the OECS, primarily for the OECS, because of our size. We couldn't handle the entire Caribbean, although they all would be coming. Invitations have been sent off to about 43 presidents of Africa, and a bunch of all of our Caribbean leaders. RSVPs are starting to come in now, so I think it's going to be a very huge undertaking. So at the end of the day, what does this mean? We want to position Grenada capable of handling small to medium-sized conventions. So our plan is to execute this flawlessly. Flawlessly, so we can go on the map of we can do conventions now, big conventions. So
first impressions last.
Exactly.
And you don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, I love this.
You don't. So one more thing we want to say is that the small vendors, the craft vendors, would have an opportunity to expose their craft to all of the visitors. So we hope that they can get some business and some exposures as well. And through GIDC, we push in business meetings, joint ventures, partnerships with all the delegates that come in, not only from Africa, the continent, or North America, but there's a whole contingent of Caribbean businesses coming. Guyana is probably coming about 70 people, and they're all looking for business. Guyana has a good group. Barbados have a good group coming. So we're trying to find a way to expand our relations and look south to south. Guyana just built a road into Brazil. Why aren't we buying more products and doing business with Brazil?
Logistics again.
And Guyana plays a pivotal role in this. So we're thinking outside of the traditional box not ignoring them, but how can we expand and diversify our sources of survival?
I am feeling happy.
To say too that the Ministry of Trade, I really want to commend the team there from our ministry. They have been on the trade portfolio. They've been pushing out information in partnership with GC and GIDC and our other government stakeholders, and we've had very strong positive interest of local businesses. We're aware of the size, but people shouldn't be intimidated by their size. MSMEs are the foundation of our economy, and it's our job to see how we can create facilitating environments, to see how we can raise their capacity and give the exposure for the conversations. Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity for diverse group of persons and entities to come together, and let's see what we can get out of that.
This is just the start of something big. I can sense it, and I just wish that we do all that we can do to sensitize the lay ordinary man.
Of course, it's for them as well.
Understand that these things are going, and not just make them understand, but bring it to reality that they will see the impact of this sort of engagement.
Yes.
You know, I really, because in the final analysis, it's the man on the ground that really feels it. Who feels it knows it.
That's who it's really about. It's not just about policy, it's always about people.
Yeah.
So for more information, you can visit the Active website. It's active2025.com. It's a joint website set up by the African Import-Export Bank and the government of Grenada. And you can send us an email at active2025@gov.gd for any information or stuff that you may need, or to find out more about what's going on. Or you can help. We're looking for volunteers to come and help as well. So if you want to volunteer your time to come and help, we'll go through a screening process, and you can send us an email at active2025.gov.gd.
Could you spell it out?
ACTIF 2025 at gov.gd.
Ms. Clark, they always say the big things come in small. I am happy to have had you all this morning, and like I said, it's the commencement of a series of engagement, because I really want the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique to understand what is in store. You know, and too many times information pass over people's head.
You're so correct.
We really want them to be integrally involved in what's happening. Be on your best.
And hold us accountable.
That's the idea. That's the idea. And this is a golden opportunity for the craft vendors and Grenadian on a whole to really engage it and make the best of. Finally, I want to start seeing straight flights from Nigeria to here. I want to jump on a plane and go straight to Abuja, not having to pass through England and spend another 8 hours flying and so forth. I want a straight flight. So that's in the making.
I think there are conversations.
Trade breaks down all barriers. So I think if we focus on building the relationship and trade, all these things would come.
Mr. Ambassador Nixon, P.S. Clark, thank you for sharing that information, and hopefully we'll have some more information forthcoming next week.
Yes, I believe you have other visitors.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Folks, that's it for the conversation this morning. It's 9 minutes after 8 o'clock, and thanks for being with us, as always.
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, resilience and transformation, enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
ready to defend my crown. I, Guana, will be performing live, defending Carnage Soca Monarch. All you think a little curry meet me on the stage. July 25th, 31st, and August 8th. Meet me on the stage.
We wild, we in style. When you see me chilling on a branch by myself, no company, no friends. Oh my gosh, I stumble when I meet till I tumble. Woman coming up, uncle, wanna come from the jungle. Oh my God.